Hey guys, welcome back to Resist the Grind. We're taking a short break from van building to come get my son, and I wanted to do a video about 10 things that we've learned in doing this van build. I know I could probably go on with 20, 30, 40 different things that I've learned, but I tried to break it down to 10 things that we learned, and I hope that you can find this of value if you decide to build a van. Number one is yes, you can do this. You can build a van yourself. You just have to take a big deep breath, do your research, and break it down into smaller parts. Focus on one system at a time. It can be overwhelming to just look at the entire van build and go, oh my goodness, how am I going to do this? But you break it into small digestible pieces and you just take your time researching, find some YouTube videos. I followed a ton of them. I'll leave links in the description. I also joined a bunch of Facebook groups for van building, for my Promaster specific van builds. I read a ton online, used some of the ChatGPT or Google Gemini to help me decide on some things. And so really by taking my time, digesting it into smaller and smaller pieces that I could put my brain around and figure out solutions enabled me to come this far, and I am 100% sure if you take your time and do the same thing, you can build a van yourself as well. Number two is to make sure that you stock up. Stock up on screws, adhesives, paint, anything that you're going to use. We bought what we thought would be a reasonable amount, and we went through those so quickly. So you want to make sure that you buy more than what you're intending to use, because it'll save you lots of trips to the big orange store or blue store or down to the local hardware store. So just stock up, buy a ton of them, and it also helps you not have to stop in the middle of a project, go and get more supplies, wasting some of your valuable time when you could be hard at work on your van conversion. Along with this, it's often more economical to buy them in bulk than to buy them individually. When you're thinking about buying your screws or other things, think about all of the different projects along the way. They're going to use that same size or that same material, and that way you can kind of plan for the excess that you'll need. So again, don't just think of 1-inch screws for the cabinets that you're building right now. Think about the lower cabinets, the upper cabinets, and the 1-inch screws you're going to need for all of those. And then do the multiplier, odds and ends multiplier. Add more to what you think you're going to need, and you'll be okay. There's an old adage that says, measure twice, cut once. But in van building, I've found that I would rather measure twice, cut 10 times. I'd rather back myself up to that line and get exactly what I want, as opposed to cutting it, making it a little bit too short, and then having to waste some of my material. So I would just kind of ease my way into that line. Not being 100% construction worker, I found that this worked out better for me. I got much better results than to just simply measure twice, cut once, boom, done. I just wanted to make sure that I had my van looking as nice as I could. So I took my time measuring and cutting. And this proved to be crucial when I was working on the walls of my shower, just shaving away a little bit at a time to get right back into that corner where there's curves, nothing is straight. And so by taking my time, I was able to get those to butt right up next to each other really nicely. I'm actually pretty proud of that. Become a savvy shopper. Make sure that you are comparing the prices and looking for the best deals you can. Watch on different Facebook marketplaces, watch on Amazon, watch local big box stores, watch the local hardware stores, and keep track of what prices are. Look for the big sales, like we went on Black Friday, Cyber Monday, other holidays, and we're able to save a significant amount of money by purchasing many of the items for our van early. We purchased a bunch of them well before we had the van and just put them into a room, because it wasn't a matter of if we were going to build the van, it was just a matter of when. And when we finished shopping, we bought our van, And at that time, we had everything that we needed. Well, most things that we needed to get started and get going on our build. And it's been a lot smoother sailing by planning ahead as much as we can. With that, stay tuned for the next one. Number 5 is to embrace flexibility. You have some great plans, some ideas of what you want your van to look like. And when you get your van, you're going to notice that there is things in the way, there is hard to get to spots, and you're going to have to adjust what your initial plans were. If you are a self-builder, then you don't know everything about all of the van. So you're going to have to, get into that space. I would spend a lot of time building something, putting in, and then going, okay, let me look at the next thing that I'm going to be putting in. Is that drawer going to hit into this, or am I going to run my wire, and how do I do that? So you really have to embrace that flexibility. Don't be 100% set on how your van is going to look in the end. Come up with a good plan as well as you can think about it, but do remember there is going to be changes and you are going to have to come up with solutions on the fly and do those with the best of your ability, because sometimes when you come up with a solution, it creates another problem down the road. So try and think down the road and think about that system in particular. The next one kind of goes back to one of the earlier ones, but it's a little bit more in depth. And what I want you to remember is that social media is your friend, and YouTube is your biggest ally in this. I watched a ton of videos throughout my build, and I still watch them. I find myself, as I'm in the center of doing my electrical, sitting down and watching a video, kind of going through step by step of what they did or how they did it. And so that really helps me as I'm building this to not forget something that might be a crucial component that I think, well, I watched a video a while ago, and so I think I remember. I would sit there, watch the video, and go, connect this wire, connect this wire, connect this wire. And it came out, my electrical works, and it doesn't smoke. So also, a lot of the Facebook groups that I've joined have been extremely helpful with my build. I would ask them a question about my electrical or a question about something with the framing, and people would be very, very helpful. I was worried at first that people might, be critical of what we are doing or how we are doing it, and I've just found so much help and so many people that want to make my build the best build I can do. So definitely you want to embrace all of the social media that you can, contact as many people, even phone a friend. We had a couple of people that we knew in different trades. I would run things by them. It was very helpful. Number 7 is to take some breaks inside your van. Quiet observation is the key to a good van build. If you're actively building your van, take time in the mornings, sit down, look at things, troubleshoot, because sometimes you go to bed thinking about a problem and you're like, I can't figure this out. But you wake up in the morning, you sit down with a fresh cup of coffee, and you just look around and you come up with solutions that you couldn't do the night before because you were just too tired. So take those times in the van to just thoughtfully reflect on your build and think about what you're going to do. The next thing, you have to become the king or queen of multitasking. You can't just think about the one task that you're doing, because you're going to be sanding and then painting. And while painting is drying, you can think about what else you can be doing. You may need to start building on something else while something is drying, or put something in the van and then work on something else. And so multitasking is the key to this. Don't just get set on, I'm working on this one thing. I would be working on adding the solar onto the roof while the painting on my cabinets was drying. And then while that was going on, I would be working on something else. And the big piece of this multitasking that I found was taking time to clean up my workspace. It can be easy just to keep plugging forward and working and working and working, but I would actually come to a point where I'd be like, okay, I'm multitasking, but let me just stop. I'm going to take all of my woodworking tools, clean them up, get them sharp blades on them, because sometimes I notice I'm working harder against the blade than I need to be. So taking that time to replace blades was incredibly productive. And so you want to make sure that you take time to organize, and then you can go back and be able to find things as you needed them. The next thing that I've found is that the van build has been extremely rewarding. It has been an amazing source of pride for me that I'm doing things that I never thought I would be able to do. I'd done a ton of home remodeling and things like that, but just being able to learn the electrical and have it all work, or learn the plumbing, or learn um, finer woodworking than I had done before. It's just very rewarding, and I hope that you find it the same way, because I found it enjoyable. And I actually enjoyed recently, I'm partway through my build, going on a short trip with my son and trying things out and going, oh yes, this is working, or maybe I'll do this differently. When I get home, I'll fix this or adjust that. And it's just been a great experience, and I just can't wait to continue finishing up this build. And I hope that you're watching these other videos that I'm doing, because I tried to throw little tidbits of knowledge in there for you so that you can have an easier time on your van build. The next thing I've been told by people who have been doing van life for a bit is that you are never truly done with your van build. You're going to find things that you want to upgrade or tweak, just as if I had told you when I went camping with my son. I found a couple of small things to upgrade, but I know down the road there are going to be things that I want to change or upgrade. So I've tried to build those into the van. I've pre-wired for some lights that we're thinking we're going to put in. I'm also looking at different things that down the road we want to upgrade. So my electrical system is not built for now. It's built with thicker, heavier gauge wires so that I can kind of increase some of the demands I put on it. And so again, you're never really done with the van build. This will be a continuous project that you'll modify and make it suit your needs. And with that, your needs may not be the needs of someone else. And so just remembering that whatever you see online, you'll want to tweak it to fit whatever you want to do with your van going forward from this point. So there you have it, my 10 quick points to help you with your van build and help you on this journey. If you have questions, leave them below, leave me a comment, I'll try and answer them. But I do think this will be a fun project for you if you decide to go off and build your own van. And it's like anything, you can spend as much money or as little money as you want to do this. I've seen people online talking about $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 on their van build. Not in my budget, which is why I'm doing so much of it myself. And I know some other people that have a $3,000 or $1,000 build, and it can be as complicated and as in-depth as you want.